You're in the right place. Hello, I'm Dan Harris.
Hi, and I'm Claudia Köstler.
You're over here, over there. Welcome to Over Here, Over There, a global conversation about how we see others and others see us. I'm Dan Harris. I'm going to hand this over to my podcast colleague, Claudia Köstler, senior editor at the Süddeutsche Zeitung in Germany, who will tell us in a moment what's on her mind this week. But first, as a reminder, you can follow us on social media and contact us via our website at overhereoverthere.org. We'd love to hear from you. And please don't forget to subscribe and tell everyone about the podcast. And now, without further ado, over to Claudia.
Thank you, Dan. Hello, and welcome back to another short episode on our podcast Over Here, Over There. Today, the Empire will strike back. Remember when I told you about all the little differences a European like me notices in everyday life in the US of A? If not, please check it out. The link will be in the comments below. But to keep things fair, of course we have to look at the other way around. So buckle up. This is going to be a wild, stereotype-packed, laugh-out-loud ride if you are from the States, and a probably valuable field guide if you are traveling America and you don't want to be instantly recognized as a foreigner. So let's go for it, shall we? Let me take you on my personal journey first. When I first visited the States as a kid, everything looked so incredibly familiar, but foreign and outlandish at the same time. Green and white road signs, countless lanes on highways, the skyscrapers. All looked familiar because I had seen it a million times on telly in all those programs that were imported, of course. But when actually there, seeing it for real, it makes you smile and wonder at the same time. Up to a certain degree, I still keep this amazement. Sometimes I sit there and would like to poke Dan or my American friends Ed or Jean or David, just to make sure they are real. It still amazes me that there are people out there having grown up on a different continent. They speak a different language. They had such a different upbringing, thousands of miles away. But I still can connect with them. Good thing they are most of the time over there while I'm over here, or I probably have poked them black and blue by now. But I digress. When I was older and went to the States, I became more blasé about it. Well, America, that's the great melting pot, isn't it, I thought. A place where cultures blend seamlessly, so I'll be invisible. Which, don't get me wrong, is what I like. Yes, I can hear you laughing, but not only as a journalist, I like to be more the observer than the observee, and not to stand out is something I really like. But instead, I seem to be part of a very special breed, so unique, so unmistakable, that even the most oblivious locals cannot miss them. European. So here's my ranking of what still gives me and us away, and please feel free to add your observations too. First of all, yeah, you hear it, my accent. I do take pride when a conversation is fluid and vivid in English, but at some point, almost every American or British person I met squints their eyes and asks, "Where are you from originally?" Well, okay, I can bear that. That's not too bad, is it? It has, at some days, even made my day when someone who I only spoken to briefly asked me if I were from the UK. But there is an accent that gives me away, but some struggle to pinpoint it. I told you what made my day, so let me also tell you what didn't make my day. When I recently gave a homeless guy in Portland, Oregon, where I worked for a time being, some money in exchange for the magazine they put together. And he almost fell over backwards after my, "Here you are." "Woohoo!" he screamed out loud as hell. "That is what I call an exotic accent." Exotic. Please, this will haunt me for a long time, let me tell you that. Anyway, apart from any accents, there is something else Americans pick up when we Europeans open our mouths. The teeth. Americans seem to have more braces in their use and seem to bleach the teeth extensively. We do have braces here, and some people bleach their teeth, but it never is as blinding in the sun or like a nightlight in the dark with us. I never thought much about it. My teeth aren't that crooked. I clean them regularly, so I thought, hey, all is good, all is normal. until I overheard two Americans talk about how Europeans are instantly recognizable by their little yellow, disgusting stumps. They weren't talking about me, I hope, but ever since I kind of feel not up to scratch when over there. A bit rough on the edges, probably, sort of. But since I am allergic to bleach, I will just have to live with it. And so do you, if you meet me. Let us all wait until my dentures arrive. Then, my dear Americans, I'll order them in a color so bright that my smile will be like a lighthouse, I promise. Then there is the coffee conundrum. If you see someone in a coffee shop looking utterly bewildered, you've probably found a European. And not a young one either. You see, the younger generation, of course, is used to international coffee brands nowadays and knows to navigate through the grande or venti frappuccinos with soy milk, ice, and whipped cream with hazelnut shots on the side. But the older ones are so used to the Italian menu of coffee and just after the nuanced flavors of an espresso shot that anything else looks like a menu in Klingon to them. Talking about tragic sights, when Europeans visit the US, they've landed in the land of pounds, miles, and Fahrenheit. Spotting them at the grocery store involves a lot of squinting at labels and muttering, "What on earth is a quart?" They will tirelessly attempt to convert everything back to liters, kilometers, and Celsius, often to the bemusement of their American counterparts who have given up trying to understand why water freezes at 0 degrees. In restaurants, just watch out for those that are looking like they are doing a complicated math test. They're trying to decode the etiquette of tipping. And I'll let you in a little secret too. Some Europeans suffer with small talk. Americans love small talk, so I hear and sometimes have experienced. I am generalizing, but still. To some Europeans, it's like being asked to perform open heart surgery. Unexpected, invasive, and something they feel wholly unqualified for. A simple question like, "How are you today?" might elicit a panicked summary of their existential crisis or an awkward silence followed by a polite but firm, "Fine, thank you." But hey, nothing is lost. Europeans will probably engage in lengthy debates about the logic of American date formats, like why is the month first? And they're constantly baffled by American sports terminology. Explaining the difference between football, soccer, and American football is a personal task, I tell you. If you are in a store and someone is holding up the line because the someone is paying with cash, you found a European. They are, of course, used to credit cards and contactless payments, but some do not trust those payment methods, especially when abroad. So they still carry cash with them, but American bills all look suspiciously similar to the untrained eye. So when shopping, they will painstakingly examine each note, likely while apologizing for holding up the line. So next time you're out and about, keep an eye out for these telltale signs. When you do spot a European, please be kind, be patient, maybe offer them a decent espresso. Remember, they're navigating a land where cheese comes in a can, and football can mean two very different things. They definitely need all the support and friendliness they can get.
Thanks, Claudia, and thanks to you out there for listening. If you have feedback on today's or previous episodes, please let us know on social media and our website, overhereoverthere.org, where you can also find our Patreon page. Please don't forget to subscribe and tell good people like yourselves about the podcast. Until next time, thanks for listening to Over Here, Over There.